Hi, I'm Daisha Holtzy, and for my graphic novel, I chose I Survived the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. In this story, you're going to meet Oscar. Oscar is a boy where he lives on a farm with his mom and pa. Well, one day there was a blizzard, and his pa actually died. Um, then one day, a man named Mr. Morrow actually comes and starts wanting to paint their farm. But he kind of lives in Chicago, and after a while, Oscar's mom and this Mr. Morrow kind of fell in love and got married. And so they all moved to Chicago. Oscar did not really want to move because he made a promise to Pa that he would look after the farm. But once they got there, there was a little bit of disastrous that happened. Um, you see, Mr. Morrow and his mom um, kind of went to go freshen up. So he was left at the train station with the luggage. Well, there were some boys that were watching him, and then this girl, she came in, tried to be all sweet and all nice and looked scared. And next thing he knows, the luggage is gone. And in that luggage was his pa's sheriff badge. That was the only thing that he really wanted to keep. But after that, they were going to go to the hotel, and they started seeing that the sky kind of looked kind of funny, and they found out that there was a fire that started. Well, after this, they were waiting to get seated to eat at the hotel. Well, then Oscar actually meets the girl and thinks, oh, well, I'm going to go and follow her to see if I can get my luggage back. He follows her, finds out that she's living with her younger brother all alone in this house. But guess what? All of a sudden, fire starts falling down from the sky or from the other buildings. It lands onto his coat. He has to roll like you're supposed to do in a fire, and he realizes that this girl and this boy is trapped in their house because the fire reaches them. So he is a hero in the story, and he gets to rescue them. He finds out that their names are Jenny and Bruno. Well, along the way, they run into Otis Weber. Otis Weber is the guy that actually learned and told them, these group of boys, to steal anything they can find. Well, Oscar kind of falls down and gets kind of hurt. And once he wakes up, Jenny and Bruno are nowhere to be found. So he tries to head back to the hotel to see if he can find his mom and Mr. Morrow. Well, they found each other, but guess what happens? The fire keeps getting closer to the hotel. The fire is actually on the hotel. So they have to go to Mr. Morrow's house, which is where his mom is. I'm not going to tell you the rest of the story because I want you to read it. But from there, this book is also a historical fiction. I think the author did a really good job with expressing how someone could feel in this situation, being trapped kind of near a fire. I personally would not like to be trapped kind of near a fire. And then also the pictures were amazing. Like, look at how the pictures look. Okay, and I actually could not put the book down from page 18 on because I really wanted to know what happened. I think kids are going to love this book, being able to see the pictures, being able to only have a few words to read. I do know the graphic novel's complexity has some words that students may need to learn, understand more in detail, or break it apart, break it down on their level. I do like how this book gives descriptions of locations where we can support the reader by giving them a map. And when we look at locations, we could talk about it. We can label that map. We can color it. And that gives the students a little bit more detail of where this actually took place from the book. Then I would also give the kids a dictionary, and we would, as a group, we would look up words that we might not know, and they would be able to find them as a group or a small group, to be able to see what those meanings are and what they can learn from those meanings. Another idea is to have the students answer questions like main event questions, the setting questions, or even key details throughout the book. I would probably use a kindergarten and first grade. It depends on where I look at, but they have a lot of kindergarten like standards where we can talk about firefighters. We can talk about the farmer, because remember Pa was a farmer, and his mom was actually a teacher. So we can talk about being a teacher and a farmer, and then what Mr. Morrow was. He was a painter. He drew pictures and painted them. And we also can go in chronological order through the historical events as well. And then I would also use a ELA standard where we would be able to see the characters and the settings and the major events, and kind of like asking questions about what happens and the support. And then another standard I would use is science, because the wind has to pick up for the fires to, carry along, and also what caused the fire to kind of grow out would be the rain. What happens to make the rain come down? So that would be also another option to look for. But this is an awesome book. I would recommend it to you put into your classroom libraries. I'm actually going to get this book and several more of these to put into my classroom. So thank you and have a great day.